All right. Now, I will statue Gris, good day to you, buy gold TP3360. Yeah, look, it's just in consolidation, so for me, I mean, potential limit orders would have been okay there. I mean, even just here, potential limit order. Let's just remove the drawings for a moment. Hide the indicator as well. A little pause just here. You know what? The bias guys at this point would not be that bad an option. On a limit order, that is a little interruption within the impulse to the upside. The structure is technically bullish in the M15. We have formed support on the 4 hour as well. So off the back of that, I don't quite mind the buys, to be honest. The limit buy, you could have a very tight stop too. You could. On TikTok, there's only, I got it totally wrong. There's not that many people alive. It's not many at all. You guys need to smash that screen for me. Smash that screen for me. A little bit hesitant to trade. My internet shit, to be honest. 33.41.10. $33.41.10 is where that actual interruption candle high is. That weak bearish candle. You could have a really tight stop. I'd probably just have it around 20 pips, just to give it a little bit more leeway. All right, so what we've got here is, again, we've got the impulse, we've got the one little interruption candle here within that impulse. We are approaching it, so I'm gonna place a little buy limit order. Tell you what, it's not much fun when you got technical issues as a guys. What a pain. Nice. 11. I assume you mean Australia? America? No, definitely not America, mate. I'm actually in Thailand right now, but I'm from Melbourne, Australia. Uzi, can I look at GU? Yeah, I can quickly look at GU. Alright, so let's look at it just quickly. Let me send an alert on gold actually, just in case. Chance I can stream on TikTok without it. All right, so looking at GU, let's start the weekly time frame and forming a strong bullish candle. Wow, very strong bullish. So obviously going the opposite direction to the gold. So if price was to begin to break the previous daily candle's low, I feel there is a good chance we could once again make a deeper pullback from this level of resistance. That is also the last significant lower high, so it is a very significant level within the structure. And a really good level, an optimum level, if you could do so, to get involved in potential sells from. Doesn't mean you just sell it. What do we got here in the 4 hour? So the 4 hour is technically bullish in structure. We have tapped into that resistance, and we have so far obviously respected that resistance. Now, however, we are still creating some higher lows, higher highs. So have you just confirmed another higher low? Hence why I'd be a little bit concerned by trying to sell it without a really strong confirmation, because could we attack the highs, wipe through it, and begin to continue to the upside. Onto the minor time frames here, being the currency pair, I would look at the 30, or you can look at both the 15 and the 30. All right, so what we can see is the 30-minute structure is bearish and will remain bearish until price closes above this. Little potential sell options off the back of that to take it back down. In anticipation, the weekly could make a deeper pullback within itself. So sells below that point there. Otherwise, if we do pop above, flip the 30-minute structure, and seeing the weekly is forming a very strong bullish candle, I would still look for buys from lower down, irrespective of the minor time frame structure flipping bearish by that point. So that is what I'd be looking at on GU moving forward. Hopefully it helps you out a little bit. Oh. Sorry, I had to decide dog's either in or out. One's in. Here he is. Actually really cute, this dog. Araphon, all good, brother. Good to see you on the members call as well. How's it going, mate? Hope you're well. Let's get back to gold, by the way. Is that a short? No. Now looking for a long here on gold. Limit order, long. All good over here in Atlanta time. Went to the gym this morning. Smashed out a workout. Issue. Over the weekend, next week. What do you want? The little dog wants to trade. Let's learn how to trade. Big attention seeker is this one. Man, give a like, appreciate it, Lau. Happy Friday to you, brother. Hope all is well. So for APT, no, I've got a limit order. So not in yet. Oops. And in line with the 15-minute structure and the daily candle, which is bullish, continue to the upside. This just tags us in and then pops. It's got no upper wick, so it's a good chance we'll create one. Let this little one down. Oh, so close to being tagged in. Maiden, want to learn how to trade? Any tips? Start with this particular website. Will help you with terminology. I'll type into the chat. And just the basics on Forex. Watch live streams, so watch people like me stream. You'll determine what sort of resonates with you. And this might be it, but you'll definitely pick up a lot from watching people live. And that was so close to being tagged in. And you already have about the 10 pips on the table by the looks of it, very close to it. Even on the top of the couch. Just over my right shoulder. Probably your left on stream. In the screen. Yeah, so it's just the spread that didn't tag me in. The low was 33.41.05, had the entry at 33.41.10. Would have been a matter of maybe half a pip, because the spreads on IC markets are about 1 pip at the minute. That would have been easy TP straight away. Franco, more into you, brother. That would have been a cracking way to start horse my week. The time I said the stop loss would have been about 320 pips. Alright, go out. Oh. 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 It was on the screen, guys, where it was stop loss. Did that, honestly, let's zoom in because it's been away. But we will continue to test with the members. We do it diligently. We want to ensure that we can give ourselves the most see price pull back to tap in to pick up those leftover orders into that pause candle. And if it is to continue in line with the trend, it usually bounces off. Wow, that would be a cracking issue. Anyone get tagged in? I know, Nev, you were in a trade office based off a similar sort of idea from a bit higher up. I can't hear you, mate. I'm not sure if it's an issue from my end or... Could be my Zoom, man. This could be... Arif, when you try to speak. I'm not sure why. Speak again? Wow. Oh, done. Alright, I think I know how to fix it. Oh, maybe not.
Yeah, I don't know. Better? Can you hear me?
I can hear you, but the music's just coming through so loud if I...
Okay.
Yeah, I've got something with my settings on Zoom. Hold on. Where's the audio? Speak now. Still the same. And I need someone to help me with the setup here. I'm shit when it comes to computers.
Hey, good morning.
How are you? I can hear you now.
I'm okay. Thank you. And you? So,
Seen better days. Really good, mate.
I see.
Bought him some silver. Try to convince him try to convince him about silver instead of gold. He still wants gold, but he'd happily take silver as well. So, yeah, he's liking the silver, but he still wants gold for his birthday. He's still expecting gold.
You clearly point this out, yeah?
I try to explain to him that silver is undervalued. I do feel it's a really good option, but he knows what he wants. I know. Fed power. I'm still gonna sell from 55. Want to see 33.25. Could there be sells, guys? Now, so again, the order has been removed. Once it's flipped, there is no entry for me. On the buy, well, I definitely would have taken profit off the table. You had more than 30 pips again. Let's just measure how much profit you would have had pip wise. Yeah, you would have had about. You're always going to be winning, but once you have a edge on the market that you know works for you, after accumulating such amount of data over a given amount of time, then I believe it becomes a process where you're just either valid or it's not valid. Your entries, and you just follow that plan. That's it. It's you take trade or you don't take trade based on is it a valid trade? Does it tick the box in accordance to your rules? If so, you take the trade. And so in that sense, I feel it is easy. It's a bit like playing a video game, I suppose. You know, your opponent or the computer, whatever, makes one move. You press the buttons, make your opposing move. So you basically react to what the charts show you, what the charts are lining up. And to be honest, in that regard, I feel trading is quite easy. But it will be very frustrating. The most frustrating part will be to try and control your emotions, because that is, again, the most difficult part about trading. People know that there is a better time to be involved in a trade, and it's not going to present every single day. Sometimes, for the most part, it will. If you were to sit around, well, I don't trade stocks, I just trade gold, basically. I would not really recommend gold to a newcomer. I mean, you could learn to trade it, but I'd be very careful chucking in any significant cash, because gold does move a lot quicker than actual Forex currency pairs. In regards to stocks, equities, I have no idea. I don't trade any individual stocks. I don't like the fact that they have market open gaps and things like that. I feel it's a lot easier to run analysis and mark up the chart on, for instance, gold or a currency pair, even a crypto, because it's 24/7. So you're not going to have these big gaps from session opens and closes. Forex, yeah, I know. I've got issues with a VPN connection, which I will try to sort out for next week. I do apologize, guys, but better than nothing. Kodak, you just put grandma's life insurance in. Good luck with that, mate. You might flip it. But just because of spread, it didn't trigger into the trade. I didn't like the fact that it did obviously flip, push into 30 back, 300 leverage. Make her one very happy lady. Or you could send her to a slightly earlier hole in the ground. Good luck with that. Alex, can I please have a look at NASDAQ? Just let me look at gold, focus gold for the next 10 seconds. I want to see if it closes below. There was to be any potential sell options off the back of that. No, so it's not going to do it. All right, so we still remain above that particular zone, so we need to wait for the time being. Let's have a look at NASDAQ up until really today. I had a brief look on my phone to see how the members are going. So NASDAQ got a pretty strong weekly candle up at all-time high territory yet again. Looks like we're going to close another all-time high on a weekly. Daily, some rejection. However, very weak pullback. We have tapped into the pause just there. Look at that yet again. And very bullish on the daily time frame here as well. 4 hour, let's have a look at structure itself. That is also very bullish. So off the back of that, I'd also argue is technically bullish in structure. So I'd be focused on just buys, guys. I wouldn't be looking for sells moving forward on NAS today. So the options would be you're running into resistance at the minute. So I'd pretty much just wait for a pullback if it were me. Wait for a clean pullback, lower down the better, and then wait for your price action catalyst for a potential buy. And that's what I would definitely, that's what I'd be looking at if it were me on NASDAQ. Thank you to new followers. Apologies, guys, for the lag and all. It's very frustrating, I do know. Gold's still respecting his zone at the minute, so oh shit. Strong bullish closure on this M15, maybe a weak pause back above the support on the next M15. Potentially that could be our option, take a buy. That could be our catalyst. I'm not too sure, guys. Let me hang around for a little chat. I'm really not sure what is going on here with it's definitely something with VPN though. Pretty sure I had this same sort of issue last year when I tried to stream using obviously the VPN. It's the only way I can potentially stream on YouTube, TikTok, sorry. I wonder. We'll just look at this particular broker, so Forex.com. This would be pretty much the same anyway. So frustrating. Kill switch. I have fixed it, guys. Let's hope. Got a feeling I may have fixed it. How's that? Is it still lagging? Still respecting that level, guys. Wow. So twice as tapped into it. I'm not sure if you would have been triggered in. Both times, literally just below it, depending on spread. Guys, someone can confirm, is it better? I don't think it's lagging anymore. I think I may have fixed it. And it's very hard to predict. Also, are there any patterns you can easily recognize are good or, well, the one I just spoke about, that's the one we trade often.
Yeah, Justin, so we have a millisecond of delay.
Shit, oh man. Can I speak now?
I want to say that we have only a slight delay, so half a second or something.
No, that's definitely. Try to speak now, Franco, if you can.
For sure, man. So, hoping it's better.
No, it's not helped. Oh, hang on. Try now. Sorry, guys.
Sure, man. So,
That's better.
could help you. Okay. Nice. So what I wanted to say is there is
Yep.
only slight delay on your screen, so a half second or something, and so
Okay, so it's better now.
okay,
Nice one. I think I may have fixed that.
it's good doing this by your own.
Yeah, very good. So I think I've fixed pretty much everything now. But it sounds good. Seems on allows it will go. Alright, well, I think we've fixed most of the issues, guys. Fantastic. JM.
Trade.
Sorry, mate.
Now we can trade.
Now we're exactly, now I don't have to worry so much that getting triggered into a trade with all the lag and internet connection issues. It was something to do with a kill switch. So every time the VPN drops out for a second or whatever, it will kill the internet. So turn that off, and that seems to have done the trick. Not sure it will affect TikTok though, but anyway, give it a crack. At least we fixed the lag, and now I can hear my guys speaking a bit, so that's the main thing. Still can't hear you too well, but it's definitely better. Anthony is buying. No, I did have a buy limit, but to me it's become. Well, look, you still probably could have taken it, to be honest. It's just I didn't trust it as much once it flipped after this kind of drop with that low wick. And I probably could have been tagged, or should have been tagged in. If it weren't for spread, I would have been tagged in. So the plan was perfect. AM supply O. Looking for buys 33.30, 33.20. 30, yeah, I can see it. 20, what have we got? 20. Yeah, me 20 is not necessarily, I mean, it's interclean traffic. Either on either side of it, you've got, see if we were to zoom in here, we've got a clean move down and then followed by a clean move back up. It's often what presents, so we'll focus on this particular area here. Often what will happen when price cuts through and makes a clean move, once again it starts to cut through consolidation or a resistance into a clean area of traffic, it's more probable that will replicate that move, mirror that move in the opposite direction. That's exactly what it's done here. So based on the 20 level, I mean, you might have another confluence, and that's fair enough, but for me, I'd be focused on the 30 level. And then probably previous resistance, so 15, 14, that sort of level. Be a potential zone where price could, in fact, bounce off. Let's just remove that zone for the time being. So it's still a bit of an arm wrestle at the current level. We are still rejecting, struggling to remain above this support. Got 15 minutes until session open. Thank you to new followers, guys. JM supply, overall bullish trend, but we'll bounce a high problem. Yeah, I do agree. I do believe it's in a uptrend. Over the weekly is forming quite a strong bearish candle. So off the back of that, I would kind of prefer to sell it today. There is not quite cows just yet, but we'll see if London open. Maybe we'll have one. Let's close this bearish engulfing. But high time frame picture, I do believe gold is extremely bullish. Business day, g'day to you. Mr. Tommy John, hope all is well. Yeah, good mate, really good, always is. Yeah, everything's much better here. Gee, it still is lagging. Really? It's not showing on my end anymore. Oh, it still is? Oh, man. It's not one thing, it's another, isn't it? Alright, it's telling me what the issue is, but how the hell do I fix it? current stream frequency of 4 sec. Oh, sorry, current keyframes are not being sent often enough because the current keyframe frequency is 5.2 seconds. It should be below 4 apparently. Doesn't tell you how to fix it though. How the hell am I supposed to fix it? Keyframes. Anyone know about keyframes? I'm not talking about keys. I don't know, like, so TikTok's not lagging. Paul says it's better, but it still is lagging on YouTube. Statue Chris. Up. At the minute, it is up, so looking pretty good. Any tech experts out there? What is this keyframe business they're talking about, and how would I fix that? Keyframe frequency. I think it's to do with Streamlabs. Mike London, do you think K, I'm not sure what K is, do you think gold will continue up today? Who knows, mate? Who knows? I mean, back to the strength of the weekly, I think there's a good chance it's going to close back very strong bearish. Could pull back within it though. So what I look for is previous levels. We've got resistance at 33.48. If price was to remain below it, I do believe we'll end up closing very, very strong bearish. However, we pop above that point, we're likely going to pull back further. We do have a lot of accumulation at 33.54 to 58, that sort of level. So there's a lot of liquidity build up in this particular level, and it's obviously going to trigger in a bit of an arm wrestle. So a good chance it could reject, make it a bit of a pullback, maybe a higher low, and then continue to attack that level again. So just have to wait and see how price reacts to those levels if and when time comes. But again, I do not predict, I react. Frame frequency, let me check this out. Automatically start replay button straight up. Oh, shouldn't do that. At least my stream here. Ah man, what have I done? Alright, it's back. It's still the same, guys. It's still really laggy. There's nothing on gold at the minute, so it's all good. We can still chill. We want to back above this support, so we now want the 30 to close pretty much bullish engulfing for it to be a valid entry at London Open. Good to see numbers on TikTok are rising to over 100. Thank you to new followers. Hattie Mark blue box unknown, or it's just the blue box is the 15-minute zone. So initially I had when I started streaming this as the most recent support. However, so normally this would be the zone. So I connect it from the body to the closest, to the lowest point of any bullish candle at that level, which happens to be the same candle. But for the sake of a few pips, we do have support a little bit lower down. I could just adjust this now to this point here. And below that point, we've got a clear move up. So price could replicate that upon a break and closure below it to the downside as well. So that's how I mark up my zones. I do it a bit differently. The 4 hour, that is the lowest point of the 4 hour support. It's actually not. It should adjust that as the lowest point of any bullish candle at the 4 hour support. So that is pretty much the 4 hour level. Again, I could adjust it if I really want to. And to the upside, this is the highest point of any bearish candle. Closest body to that actual high is the same candle again. That is my zone. You could, in fact, mark it in a little bit deeper. You can see we have rejected that level. And again, it's subjective. Some people don't even use zones. Some people just use horizontals. But that's how I'll go about it. 6 minutes left, guys. We need a bearish engulfing for the sell or bullish engulfing M30 for the buy. So bearish engulfing 15 minute. And that will close us below support for a potential sell. Bullish engulfing M30 will, in my opinion, give us more probable option to the upside. So we'll wait and see. Right, so Dev,
Yep.
how's it going, mate?
Yeah, good. Not too bad.
Nice one. What's happening?
Not much. Just getting home from work, mate. Simple as that.
Yep.
Just opening the charts now.
Nice one. What are you looking at?
Look, I'm still in gold longs at the moment.
Oh, that buy from earlier?
Yeah, that's where all my orders have triggered and they're still in. They haven't hit the stop loss, so
Nice one.
run for now. I'll manage it as I say. We'll see what happens. I might take half off in a minute.
Yep.
All set up over there now?
Yeah, well, pretty much. I'm just obviously issues with the stream. I'm doing what Google AI, whatever it is telling me to do.
Yeah.
But it's not, the setting isn't there. So in Streamlabs output, into Streamlabs output, there's no keyframe interval option. That's frustrating.
Yeah, I'm not a techie.
It's so frustrating.
All I've got is the basics, mate. Firewalls.
Oh, mate. Maybe it's because I'm streaming at the moment.
Yeah, maybe.
Not sure. All right, we've got 4 minutes though. So you took the buy. Whereabouts were you on the buy?
Top of the tweezers.
Up here.
That last swing, yeah, that's where I.
Yeah, that's pretty much the level I was looking for a buy before, just a little bit lower down.
I think that's where I got triggered. I might have been a little bit higher actually.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was actually a little bit higher. So it was that. I think I had an order set at those tweezers, and I had an order set at the other one that's on the other side, at the top of the green.
Okay.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, and that's so I got triggered in twice because I forgot about the other one that I had set in there.
Okay.
I've given it a little bit of room down to that interruption play on the 30, basically.
This one here.
Yeah, down the bottom of that. At the bottom of that, that's where my stop is.
Yep.
Goes there, then the 4 hours flip.
Okay. Yep.
And then we roll over and we're heading downwards.
Yep. Fair enough.
Then I might look for a retest of that area.
For a sell.
Yeah.
Yep. Like, could potentially be in a sell in a few minutes. Just wait and see.
Yeah. I'm gonna give this a little bit more room, and then I'll start scaling back on my stop loss.
Yep. Fair enough, mate. Arifin, no. No, I'm looking for a sell, to be honest, man. Now, so I moved that order before. So we're looking for sells, guys, potentially. If we want to see this candle close engulfing, close below 15 minutes support. Let's look at the 30 quickly. So it coincides with this resistance here. So we really want to be below this actual level of support, because then we're starting to pop back below the resistance to the left here on the 15 as well. We have that. We've got multiple candles leaving upper wicks, obviously to the upside, suggesting perhaps we grab liquidity from the upside. And if we were to wipe out these buyers and close below support, I do believe that could trigger a deeper pullback, or deeper push to the downside in line with the weekly candle. So just waiting just over a minute. Let's see. So stop loss would be above current candle. We want to close below. So what I recommend doing is following a broker's chart. Now, we could potentially have limit orders. If this closes significantly below what I would determine to be some of significance, I would say at least 10 pips below the low of that bullish candle. If that's the case, then I might set a limit order sell back at the low, stop loss back above the high. So we got 1 minute to wait, guys. It's watchable now, Paul. Thank you, mate. I'll have a proper look at it. Maybe it's because I'm streaming, so it's not letting me adjust the setting on Streamlabs at the minute. So there are your options, guys. Now you're gonna have to be quick. So focus on what the lowest point of the current candle is to. The continuation entry will be just below that point in upper wick prior to the entry. Low of the previous bullish candle is 33.41 on my broker's chart. So that could be a potential entry point. It all comes down to where the candle closes. So we could be looking for potential continuation entries. Whoops. Yeah, I'll do that after. All right, so the low. It's not quite close to the level I want it to close. So you're looking at an entry around 95, 33, 39, 95 roughly. Tempting to take a limit order to, or just execute price taps into that bullish candle. I'm going to take the continuation sell. Oof, wow. Good idea. Wait for it to break the low if that's the case. So I've got a sell stop. I've got it just a couple pips below the low of that bearish candle. So I've got it set at 33, 39.95. So let's see. Obviously, it's London Open. You're going to have a bit of an arm wrestle at the beginning of the Open. If we do reject though and remain below, it'd be tempting to take a slightly early entry below the low of the bullish candle actually. $33.40.20, guys, is where I'm going to set an order. $15. Actually, I'm going to adjust it to 15. So 33.40.15 is where I've got an order set. Just as the bullish candle flips, just a little bit below it. Because if we do continue to reject this zone and begin to flip and break our own low, actually a fair difference between the prices here. this particular broker and my particular broker, IC Markets. So I'm going about 2.5 pips below low. Fake Chief Keith, how much do you make a month day trading? That's no one's business, to be honest. Enter, can I show what to expect on GJ? Let's quickly look at it. Not looked at it all today. Let's just wait, because gold, we'll wait and see how gold goes in the next few minutes, and if it starts to rip to the upside, taking out the highs of the previous candle, I'll likely remove the order either way. And then I'll have a look at GJ for anyone interested. New user, obviously looking for a sell. Where's my buys for London? And so more bearish on gold. What's it doing now? Yeah. Humble? No, not in yet. I've got entry set at 3340.15. Andrew, seems to be a lot of activity around this area. Yeah, definitely. You've wicked above it multiple times. We've wiped out those buys that did present above that level and form support again. But we are trying to pop back above that point, so I want to get involved as price flips. Same time, we'll be breaking pretty much that previous candle's low as well. So we've still got no low wick. There's still a good chance it could create that. So perhaps we're just grabbing liquidity from the upside again in order to make the move to the downside. Now, let me add an alert. Things in gold, it could flip very, very quickly. I want to look at GJ though. All right, so let's quickly look at GJ and let's start at the weekly time frame. And we are forming pretty strong bullish, but we are rejecting resistance to the left. So it's a very strong level of resistance that we remain below. We've attacked it multiple times. The daily starting to pull back below that level too. So in fact, that level there is going to be very important for GJ to close above if we are to in fact continue bullish moving forward into the next week, in my opinion. See gold pulling back a little bit further. The 4 hour, structurally, we are bullish here. Not quite made the move to the downside. I mean, there is still potential for it to come down a little bit further. That is resistance. We'll just use that, seeing its most recent. The M30 structure, I would say that's also technically bullish. So off the back of that, I would prefer to buy GJ moving forward here today. And my options would likely be above the resistance. So we're remaining above the Asian session lows here. If we were to break above the resistance at 199.530, I do believe there's a high probability that we could in fact continue to the upside. So buys above that point there. Like so. And as tempting as it would be to sell it, I mean, look at this, the trickle down throughout late Asian session, or afternoon, sorry, the Asian session into the afternoon sort of part of it, late morning, afternoon. It's a slow trickle down, so perhaps it's running out of momentum to the downside. See, it is structurally bullish still, the way I see it. So I'd be careful selling it, because I'd definitely wait for the closure, the retest, and then look for a possible sell. Often what we see is price in this sort of situation, it will tag you in, grab some liquidity, ends up popping straight back above in line and continuing in line with the direction of the actual structure itself. So this is the daily candle, printing, but that's within a very strong weekly candle. It is at resistance, so I mean, you do have confidence and reason to sell it. So you could use the fact that it's at a higher time frame resistance, and if price was to reject top low support, there is a high probability that we could come down further. So that's something you could potentially look out for. But I'd be more personally focused on the buys moving forward. Gold's still not created that low wick. I need to get to the point where I'm likely going to remove the order. I'll wait and see. Still got it sitting in there. Sidin, hello to you. You're from Malaysia. Should I start trading? It's totally up to you. Oh, that wasn't you sitting, was it? Who asked that? Anyway, it's a person did ask that. Only comes with risk. So only risk what you can afford to lose. City, nice one, man. I'm very from the land of tight at the minute. We potentially would be. All right, rejecting. It's all right.
It's heavily rejecting, so
Yep.
the force tight right now, so
It's a stubborn one, isn't it? It's very. I mean, it looks like it wants to go, but it keeps popping back up. So we'll see. Not in yet. Wow, look at that little interruption play as well. That would have actually worked. Out of that entry. It's definitely the favorite at the minute. Close, guys. Are we going to get triggered in? What I would ideally like to see, price to do whatever it wants to do, is this candle close pretty much like this. Rejecting that previous support, closing weak bullish. And if prices to break that weak bullish candles low, I feel it's even higher probability they'll make the move down. But, ooh, almost triggered in. So close. So very, very close to being triggered in. So like so, if this closed like so, that'd be fantastic on the 15. Because in my opinion, there's only so many times we can leave these long upper wicks and not reject further. So let's see. What I would do is I'd be adjusting stop loss to above the entry candle as well. There'd be no need for it to pull back and break its own high. So that's what I'm going to do now. Put the stop loss to that point there. So stop loss, I'm going to have set at 33.40, 33.43.11. So it's a 29.6 pip stop to be exact. Which as V, and stop loss shouldn't be in the trade, mate. If you allow for spread, you should not be in the trade. So I'm not triggered in. So for me, there is no stop loss, there's no entry, there's no TP as well. Put yourself in 33.56, 9, nice one. What is that line, Felix? Which one? This one? That particular line was sell below. I removed it for whatever reason. That's pretty much what that represents. The blue, you're talking about the box here. It's a zone. So close to being triggered in. Let's see. I really, really would love for it to actually close back weak bullish just below. That would be perfect. Absolutely perfect. Here on the 15, we've got just over 3 minutes, 3.5 minutes remaining. And just to prove to you guys, I'm not currently in a trade. Actually, I don't need to prove it. One up buy. Well, I was initially looking for a buy. However, my preference is to sell off the back of the weekly. The weekly is forming a very strong bearish candle. So often, from my experience, when we have candle forming in so convincingly in one direction on the Friday, I'd rather trade in line with the strength of that candle. Not sure why I got an alert up there. So that's what I prefer to do. I think it's of high probability, especially at the end of the week. So we'll see. No, I don't trade USD. To be honest, I don't look at it enough. I don't like to trade it. Also, because I don't choose to trade in my session, or I don't trade too far into it, to be honest. We've got mid-mind spawning up for a buy. Potentially, we'll see. So for the buys, we need to wipe out those sellers and close pretty much bullish engulfing above that previous M15 candle. So it's not likely to happen. The sell still could be an option though, guys. If we do reject and close weak bullish below, I'm still more than comfortable keeping the sell stop in. If that is to be the case. I'm all good, my friend. 04B, all good, mate. Hope you're well. TikTok, 172 of you on stream at the minute. If you're not yet following, make sure to do so. Very surprised, to be honest, not being hit with that dreaded ban hammer. All good. Then YouTube, I do promise that I will look at the lag issue, or do my best to fix that. It should be okay for next week. User low volume at the moment. Yeah, look, it's a little bit indecisive. So obviously it's just in consolidation. So consolidation basically represents liquidity. So sometimes, well, often the market needs to consolidate to trigger in volume, to trigger in liquidity from both the upside and downside in order to make the next impulse. It's our job to wait and see which direction that impulse is going to actually move in and look to pick up the pieces off the back of that. So at the moment, still in consolidation, but for me, so I'm going to remove the order just now because that is a strong bullish engulfing candle. Well, not bullish engulfing, engulfing the body back above support. So to me, it's too strong of a candle to look for any impulse sales below. So what I would now need to wait for is simply, very simply, this to happen on the following candle. That was to happen, wipe out those buys, then I do believe, again, we do have some pretty clean candles down to this support. There's a high probability, as long as the new candle creates an upward, that could make the move down. So that is another thing I'd be looking out for. It's tricky when you're trading this sort of situation at the minute. You need to be very patient and wait for closures. I would not look for impulse entries. Let's have a look at it again on the 30 perhaps. So look, let's mark in the high of that bearish candle. Let's go back to the 15 and let's also have a look at the 5. So if that is to be the case, then we're going to be engulfing this bearish candle, 15-minute candle. Be also hovering above 5-minute resistance. So that could be our play to the upside, guys. This candle was to close very close to bullish engulfing on the M30. Then that could definitely be our play. So I'm just going to adjust this zone now to the most recent support. And we're still looking for sales below. But we could also possibly be looking for some buy options. Cash Mula, reverse. It's not really, it's indecisive at the minute. Keeps popping back above that previous support I had marked in, which is a little bit higher up. So to me, it's a little bit indecisive at the current level. It means you need to trade with caution if you are taking any trades at the minute. Today, buy or sell? Nothing at the minute. I think home, I'm not sure what's called, home map or something. Very hard to read that profile name. Very nice, thank you. Just a reminder, guys, TikTok. I still do highly suggest at some point something to the YouTube channel, because if I do get, in fact, stopped on TikTok, banned, you will find me live on YouTube at the same time. Get the full screen and all on the YouTube stream. Time would you say that pair is waiting on news? No, not necessarily. News is quite, you still got a few hours until the news. So I wouldn't have thought so. What time is this set to? So when is the news? The news is 7:30 my time. So that's almost just over 5 hours away. So we've still got plenty of time until news is released. So I do believe there's a chance it could make a move prior to it. But again, just need to wait for the right confirmation to get involved. We look at GJ again, just in consolidation, so nothing at all on GJ. Not looked at German 40 today, doing what it always does, lots of volume. Right, the high of the day broke the Asian session highs, and look at it sweep back towards the low. Wow. I mean, the amount of times I would see something like that present on this particular pair, or indices, sorry. Something to take note of, that's for sure. Heavy consolidation on GJ, so nothing at the minute. GU rejecting that resistance, remaining below it. So we're still not confirmed a structure flip on the 30-minute time frame. GU is an interesting one because you got the weekly, which is the overriding time frame, very strong bullish, but you've got the minor time frame being bearish at a resistance. So for me, I'd rather buy it upon a pullback to a high time frame support, or on the confirmation of the structure flipping bullish on the M30 to have some clean traffic above that point. EU, excuse the mess on this chart. Let's see, I'm assuming it's very similar to GU. So not as strong of a bullish candle on the weekly, it's a weak bullish candle. Long upper wick and lower wick daily. Price was to flip and break its own low, perhaps. Could be some options below that point there. The 4 hour just pulling back, but however, it is technically bullish in structure. No, it's not actually, it's bearish. Got a swing here and it's closed below it, so it's technically bearish on the 4 hour. Can mark that level in just now. Resistance will include the highest point. M30 is also bearish, so yeah, EU I'd be more inclined to look for sells, to be honest. And I'd probably prefer a deeper pullback. It's a bit choppy here. I'm sure that will resemble a bit of a mess in 15. Yeah, just a consolidation. So what I would preference here on EU is just simply waiting for price to pop up to 1690, 950, and see if it in fact does reject, remain below that level, remain bearish in structure in the minor time frame, and then look for a sell from higher up. Otherwise, again, similar to GU, you still do have the weekly candle forming bullish. So if price was to make a clean pullback to a previous level of support around that 116.50 psychological round number, form a support above that point there, then I do believe that would also be a potential option to look for some buys on EU moving forward. For anyone who might be interested. Oh, gold, wow. Broken to the upside. Come from too far below though for me, so the 5 minute, even the 5 minutes got no wicks, so irrespective. Very difficult to take it because we know to look back through all these candles, there's 90+% of them would have wicks in both directions. So my concern would have been that this has got an upper wick, new candle might pop up just a tad. With usually it's that leftover liquidity towards the end of that candle, and then it tends to pull back. Meantime, you're stuck in drawdown, breaks a slow wick, and then some. You know, if it is to continue bullish with the actual push of that previous candle, and fantastic. But sometimes back of that closure, it ends up closing strong bearish. A lot of the candles that follow a candle like so end up closing strong in the opposite direction. So for me, very difficult to take a trade like that.
Yeah, needed to be right down where I've got him, so it's a bit hard to get him right now, that's for sure.
Yeah, no, I tend to agree, mate. Tend to agree.
Yeah, but
That's with gold. That's the thing with gold. Once it moves,
like,
you're gonna get another opportunity. So if it takes a while,
Yeah.
you've got piles above set.
anyway.
So
Yep, correct. Because it's pulled back within the Asian range.
Yeah.
If it
yeah,
does
well,
stay high.
that was kind of my idea of getting the level like
was
the
the fact that look
for a pullback
and
to target the Asia high.
Yep.
But then I was looking at also data from the state around volumes and point of control is actually up at 3357, which is the top of where my target is.
Okay. Alright, so this is a lot of liquidity at this level, a lot of
correct. So
accumulation.
there was a volume
point of control
yesterday.
Yeah. So what I'm assuming you mean by that is there's the volume spikes at around that level.
Yeah, I'm using volume analysis.
Okay.
There's a
Point of control up there where all those big
are, which you
you
can
can clearly see the
volume there.
Yeah, definitely. Even to the left of it.
But
Yeah.
anyway,
This is gold.
Yep. Exactly.
It'll give you opportunities.
Yeah, definitely does present. There's just a matter of whether you're on the chart for it or not. That's the only issue. So
Must admit, the scary thing. Please don't sell.
yeah, no, well, I was very close to being triggered in, so I was happy it wasn't, to be honest. But it's the same thing. I was so close to being triggered in on that interruption play, and that would have been a cracking entry.
Yeah, well, see what's set
around that area, and it wasn't based off that interruption, but it was based off that area
there.
Yeah,
The ones that I still had it on.
as per your analysis from earlier.
Yeah, correct. And when I looked at, because I was at set the level just to get in if it got there.
But
Yep.
I forgot about having the buy in there.
Well, as long as I'm sure you're accepting of your risk as well. So as long as you're aware, it could take you out, but it's a planned loss. That's as stupid as it sounds, but you know what I mean. It's not like you plan to lose, but that's what you're accepting to lose if it goes against you.
Yeah, correct. It just, to me,
No, nice one. It's looking really good now. So
yeah, we'll see what happens in a little while.
Yep.
It's moving quick anyway.
yeah, there is a lot of volume at the minute, which is it's good to see.
Yeah. And as I said before, I was willing to start to just to
If it did drop first. Yep.
My original risk would have been $100, and I would have reduced it down to $50, and if it took me out, down to $50.
Well, that's alright. Yeah, so at least you're managing your risk.
correct. And I think that's an important aspect of trading for people. Is you don't just manage it in one direction, you manage it in both directions.
Yeah, 100%. I'm an advocate for that. For sure, as you guys know.
Yeah. I'll let you keep going.
No, all good. All good, brother. Sorry, I just had to answer a message. Yeah, you guys know I like to manage trades in both directions. To be honest, I'd never let a trade hit full stop loss. Unless it's a really small stop loss, for instance, that limit order buy, I probably just would have left it go to stop loss because it's only a 20 pip stop. And the technical level was even less than that. Technical level would have maybe have just been hit, possibly, but irrespective, it bounced about 30 plus pips prior to it, so it would have been a win. Ryder Miller, what strategy do I use? Strategy is price action. Price action based on price being at predetermined levels. Preferencing a bias, but not always fixated on that bias. So that bias is determined by looking at a few different multiple time frames, starting at the higher time frame. Especially left Friday, the weekly first direction, and then I work my way down to my time frames for entry points. Magendra, GJ going to flip. There is news, interest rates, and market. Question on, hey, got the foot? GJ, interest rates. Yeah, that's interest rates for what, for the pound? I don't see it. GJ's consolidating, mate. It's a bit tricky at the minute. John, do you always finish trades during a day, hour in trade? As in, yeah, I'm never in a trade for longer than, to be honest, for longer than about 30 minutes or so, for the most part. Still don't get what's going on with this music. Just the volume fluctuates. Wilson, all good, brother. How are you? Staying a trade day after? No, generally not. Still 50 or 55 sell. Yeah, 55, that sort of region. Yeah, I think it's not a bad area. You've got a lot of consolidation here, so accumulation price often, it's a bit of a magnet, these areas of consolidation. A price will likely tap into. Now, at some point, it's going to actually, well, if it is to continue bullish, it's probably going to break through that level, but it's likely going to be a reaction to it. So that could be a good level where you could look to take a sell. So that would be something I would be considering if it did eventuate. Who is Jayco? Yes, fair value gap retest, sorry, at 33.41, I think. Possibly, I don't know. I don't trade fair value gaps, but who knows? Deborah, yes, was me set up. Bjorn, all good. So what's JJ doing now? Still consolidating. All right, let's quickly scope GU. Still remain below. This 30 close back, it's not going to happen since I closed back bearish engulfing on 15. Could have possibly been an option to sell it. EU still pushing bullish at the minute. Alright, so it's going to close above that level, but it's made the move. There is no margin, guys. Oh, hang on. No upper wick. If it taps into that bearish candle's high, could we get a cheeky little buy? What is the high of that bearish candle? Let me suss that out. I don't want to flip though. 33, 43, 56. That's flipped. Almost. Yeah, it's like fine tuning, guys. To be honest, in this sort of narrow range, I'm not prepared to leave the limit order set. I would rather be triggered in on the next candle. So as opposed to waiting for it to trigger in a couple candles back. So for instance, if it pops up, does a bit of this, and then tags into the high of that bearish candle, in my opinion, it's not as probable because then we're likely going to reject that level, make a deep pullback, and maybe even continue bearish. So I would have wanted to be triggered in prior to creating the upper wick. And either way, still not tapped into that particular level that I was looking at. So I don't want to get involved as it breaks the high. There is no margin. So it's still a little bit tricky at the current level. So, trader, be very, very careful. Don't solicit any financial advice on this trade. See, I don't have any lag whatsoever on YouTube now, so I'm not sure if seems to be fixed on my end anyway. Cyrus did 15-minute order block at 16.15. Break structured upside and retracement back into order block, then broke out. Answered. Okay, nice one. Again, everyone has a different way of going about things. I was looking for a different type of entry. Also to the upside. Once again, I have particular rules that I like to follow. I'm very strict. When I create the rules, I really want to follow them. Reason being is because the worst feeling is when you create a rule for an entry and then you don't stick to it because you feel like you're going to miss out, and then it goes against you and you kick yourself because you're just saying to yourself, why didn't I just wait? Why don't I just stick to my rules? Wow, look at that volume too. So a trade stop loss, if your stop loss is 5 pips and you told us to sell it and it was pushing up, then you likely would have been stopped out. Now you're saying it as it's dropping. Because this thing pushed more than 5 pips to begin when you said you're selling it. Your prediction sells right now? Yeah, for me, I'm just waiting. We're still consolidating. It's very unclear at the minute as to what direction it wants to move in. So here we go. I'm happy I stuck to my rules. And had I FOMO'd into a trade, I would have been in drawdown. So rules are rules. Very happy I stuck to my rules. Done so throughout the whole session. I've probably been spared a couple losses by doing so. So it just means that by not being ticked off and not being valid, or sorry, not being treated in, not being ticked off, it means it's just not valid, the entry. So again, the rules have spared me being stuck in any loss or any drawdown. And we'll see what happens. Still got just over 9 minutes for this candle. GJ, no idea what it wants to do. EA, not looked at that today. Let's quickly look at, all right, weekly bullish engulfing. Pretty strong level of resistance though. Wow, definitely a strong level. Daily bullish candle probabilities open for gap to the upside. 4 hour bullish structure by the looks of things at strong resistance. This is one very strong level on EA. Support, you form support just below it. Could be a good potential entry point for maybe a slightly longer term hold. Those who like a intraday / swing sort of trade. Let's just see what we can do with this zone. Pretty clean traffic to mark in that high. 30-minute structure. Flip back bullish. I'd be marking that resistance. And I would preference buys above it. That's pretty clean traffic up to the highs of the 4 hour range. So buys above. And to be honest, I would preference the buys moving forward today. You got a very strong bullish candle on the weekly. So I just now probably adjust that zone. And I would say as long as price really remains above 179.50, there's a high probability it will end up continuing bullish and potentially attacking the high of the week. I want to make the push up to the 4 hour resistance, the highs of it. Below that particular point, it looks a bit better for some potential sell options, but so I just stick to the buys otherwise. Gold, very indecisive. Toothy, love from Ireland, brother. Are you buying? Nice one, man. Welcome. Was looking for buyers earlier. Unfortunately, did not get triggered in my limit order, and it's since become invalid for me to buy. At the minute, preferring to sell it below the support, and yes, potentially buy it if we in fact sweep that support, only to close back above it, and maybe have a little bit of a confluence on the 5-minute, bit of my resistance price closing above it, and potentially look for some buy options. But we'll have to wait and see. Beyond was the computer setup, number of screens? 3. Setup here is actually much better than, you know, the internet's much better as well. Much better. Monster, no, we cannot. And goodbye to you. You get the same treatment anyone else does who comes on the stream trying to promote themselves. Tony, yeah, it does have volume. It's just a little bit all over the shop at the minute. The first 15 minutes was, or first 30 minutes, strong bullish. Now the rejection. So it's still very indecisive. Who is Jaco? Sell entry would have to be, again, I need confirmation of closure below the support 33.40, basically. Once again, statue Gris, mate, be careful, be careful. People don't be daft, follow your plan. Just because someone in the TikTok chat says buy it now or sell it now. Follow your plan. That's all I can suggest. Even if I'm telling you I'm buying it, selling now, follow your plan. I'm just doing me. If it's in line with your plan, by all means, up to you guys. But I'm not responsible for anyone who wins or loses. You guys are the ones who pull the trigger. It's up to you. At the end of the day, it's entirely up to you. Trimmer seems to be bearish engulfing. Well, yes, at the moment it is. Doesn't mean it'll close that way, so we need to wait just over 4.5 minutes. Statue Gris, all good, mate, all good. Again, if it... Sorry, mate?
Gold certainly has the market on it.
Yep, definitely. Bit all over a shop at a minute, isn't it?
Yeah, I think it's partial. Take a risk right down, so we'll see how it plays out for the rest of the session.
Yep.
Good.
At the minute, very tricky. The fullness of joy, you're very right. Thank you. Dean, g'day, mate. What benefit do people get from saying buy or sell now with no one? Yeah, well, that's true. Anyone can say it. And then if it's right, they say they're right. If they're wrong, they just be quiet in the background. Anyone can say it. So, yeah. Stream yourself if you're so confident. Jack King, not sure. I've only first looked at markets today. So I've been incognito for this week. Crazy Kurgi. I don't know what to call it anyway. Thoughts on crypto? Yeah, a bit pissed off about crypto because of my personal experience. Every time I sell, it goes up. Look, crypto is definitely going to be around. I think obviously the main market cap coins, obviously Bitcoin, ETH, XRP. There's still a hell of a lot of shit coins which need to be filtered out of the system, and they're basically just scams. But obviously there is use case for it. So once again, I believe there will be, you know, a place for things like XRP, Ethereum, Bitcoin. Obviously USDT or USDC, whatever stablecoins. But I remember when these things were much less than the current price. So for me, it's hard to trust, or not trust, but I feel like slightly hard done by, to be honest, if I'm buying at these levels. When I remember XRP at 20 cents, now it's, you know, $3 something. So my personal play is silver. I'm more than happy to keep stacking this. I got my little 10-year-old into, well, he's really into gold. I'm trying to convince him into silver too. But for me, silver is where there is the most potential. Yes, it's not going to give you a Bitcoin return or anything like that. It's not going to just pump to 100k or whatever. But it's still highly undervalued, and I still believe it'll be worth a lot more than 58 Australian dollars, 38 US dollars moving forward. So for me, I think it's a tangible asset. It's a physical asset. You own it, no one can take it from you unless, you know, store it safely, which I definitely do. Yeah, easy. It's liquid, very easy to sell. People think it's not. It is. It's simple. It's super simple. I just take it to my bullion dealer. They give me spot price. That's it. Very simple. They test it for purity and ASIC regulated. So the broker, the bullion dealer, sorry, I deal with, no issues whatsoever. Very reputable one. Should pay me. Not that I said the name of them, but anyway, it's only $9, so I don't ship worldwide or anything. Yeah. I know. That's why I see it now. Yeah, I mean, yeah, it was just recently, just the past few years, it's pushed up because I was buying it from about 30 Australian dollars, so around 21, I think, US.
Always nice to have that type of backup in there. So,
Yeah, nah, for sure. It's good to have, I think, a sort of a advanced portfolio. You don't want to spread it too far though.
Yeah.
But you want to have, you know, put in a few different assets.
yeah.
Yeah.
I think the China market kind of creeps out because everyone kind of puts their money into buying.
Yep. Well, China have just implemented a new bank account system where it's redeemable for actual physical gold, which I really like. And I think that's what a good bank should do, to be honest. Because most banks aren't backed up by shit, to be honest. Not backed. But most of them don't even have gold. A lot of the, apart from the reserve banks and that, the Fed banks, obviously those sort of banks. But talking about your local branch of your local bank or whatever, most of them have nothing. All they have is IOUs, basically.
Yeah, and for
Credit.
every dollar that you put in, you know, got to realise that that's going back. I think it's 50% goes out to the loan, and then 50% is stored. I know. Sorry, 25% is saved, 75%
Just wait 1 sec, man. Just sorry, guys. Sorry, I just need to.
เราไม่ถึงเวลาคุยได้6:40 16:40
Okay. Okay. Sorry. I was just about little one. What time we finish school? So, yeah, go on, mate. Sorry, I apologize.
Oh, good. No, I was just saying, like, I think if every,
Like if you put 5k in, I think 25% of what you put in they have to deposit into the reserve bank at whatever interest rate they get there.
it's
Yep.
guaranteed,
And then the rest of it.
75%
of it goes back out the door as in
sorry,
loans,
loans, housing loans,
Yep.
you know, ridiculously high loans.
Correct. And that's why.
is low, really low.
Yeah, that's why when you go ask for some substantial funds out of it, they give you a hard time because they don't have it on hand for the most part.
Yep, correct.
You gotta give them 48 hours notice.
Yeah, it's a joke.
Most 30 days.
Mm.
For large sums anyway.
Yeah.
And we're not talking about much either, like anything above 10,000.
Yeah, it's not exactly. Which is still it's substantial money, but it's nothing crazy, is it?
No, it's ridiculous. And
Yeah.
That's why I do love having your silver.
gold sitting in your vault somewhere.
Yeah, 100%. I am a big advocate.
And
You can always
buy
buy
with it too, so
Yeah, 100%. If shit's a fan and you know financial system goes up shits and you can't get hold of cash,
yeah.
you want to be the one holding physical assets. So
Definitely. And that's why usually housing, buying a house and holding it as your asset does go well over the long term most of the time, except if markets get flooded.
Yeah.
In China, unfortunately.
yeah, I mean it's good to have, especially to have some sort of investment because the actual house you live in is a bit different. It's more of a obviously it's a bit of a rich dad poor dad thing where they see it's more of a liability because it's the expenses, which I understand too. But but having said that, you still want to have that security. It's
Back to the time age,
true.
that, compound interest, mate. If you
Yeah.
can put away from the day you were born, you'd be a millionaire by the
Oh mate,
simple as that.
so I try to teach my little man. He's really good with it and doesn't like to spend any of his money. Not one
Right.
Thai baht.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like,
Smart little taker.
people learn how
important compound interest is over the long term. And even when you're trading the markets, compounding your returns from a small.
Oh, 100%.
you might
Mine's up to just over 1,000 now. Put,
Wow.
250 into the account a few weeks ago. But
Nice one.
just like trading 1%, 2%, that does very, very quickly depending on your asset as well.
Yep.
But everyone's like it these days. Once you get good at trading, trade assets, there's so much out there to be able to get capital. So you've got so many hot firms out there that you can access to be able to get an account up and going. And be able
Yeah, there's ways to go about it. You just need to be sure to cover all the parameters and that.
well, I don't have
$100,000 to chuck into an account, but you can go buy one for $500
Yeah.
if you've got good at trading
and trading your plan, like
setting up
setting
a
up
trade
a trade
plan
and let it play out, and
be
be
patient,
it rewards it. It rewards you back.
Yeah, 100%. Very true.
Stop.
All good, mate. It's still a little bit hard to hear, to be honest. I've got to try to fiddle with the settings a bit, but for the most part, it's alright. Just answer some of these questions. Who is Jaco? How long? About 8 years. Just over 8 years been training. Scott, you knew some might be normal as far as the crazy moves. Yeah, I mean, today it's not crazy, it's just normal. It's just gold. It's consolidating at the minute, so it's not trending. And often this is what happens. Price just sort of like a magnet. It tends to pull back into the same range when it's not ready to trend. Hasn't quite built up enough liquidity. And now Friday, yep. Bill was building big mountain. We'll see. Train gig, Bitcoin or gold. It's probably a lot of people probably going to think I'm stupid, but gold every single day of the week. For the same reasons as I mentioned silver. Physical, it's a physical asset. So I'm not talking about paper gold, I'm not talking about trading it on your bloody brokers, IC markets, whatever. I'm talking about physical gold bar, coin, jewelry, whatever. Jewelry is not, you're paying a premium for it though. So I would preference bars and coins and things like that. Again, it's a tangible asset. If you hold it, it's pretty safe. If you store it correctly, and you should be pretty safe. Bitcoin, it's a good one, don't get me wrong, but just who knows? No one knows the next day. All the bullshit that goes on the regular. They could switch off the internet system. They could reset everything. No one knows. Don't mean to sound too pessimistic here, but I'd just rather have the physical asset. Personally, that's just me. Not saying you're stupid if you hold Bitcoin though. I think you're very wise as well. But you asked me the question. I think it is gold is what I definitely would prefer. Andrew, Trump Putin meeting today. Do you think the outcome will affect price of gold? Likely, yes. I didn't know they're meeting today. I've been off grid, so yes, it could. If there is potential truce for war, then I think that would be a good thing for risk on assets. I think gold will probably take a bit of a dip off the back of that. Would expect perhaps Bitcoin, maybe equities to move a bit, but I could be wrong. What time frame do I use? Bogdan? Mainly in 15 on gold. H. Razville, sell zone 33.55, order 33.65.68. JJ, we should buy or sell. It's just consolidating. So there's nothing in a minute. What crypto? Crypto, again, I just focus on the main coins. Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP. Pretty much what I'd focus on, to be honest. Humble 5-minute fair value gap. Yeah, not sure. I don't trade fair value gaps. I'm not the man to ask when it comes to fair value gaps. Asher Glory, good morning to you. Welcome. Gold's still golding. Not much happening at the minute. Just want to see if I can quickly fix this little issue that. Maurice, Chow, sell or buy? Nothing in a minute, but we'll see. We're below resistance. We want to be above it for any potential buys. Nothing at the minute. Still got the heavy eyes from traveling. It's not that big a time difference, only 3 hours, but still. All right, so we're starting to push a bit here on gold. Let's see if it's going to take this resistance again and see if we're going to take out the Asian highs and start to close the bulb. Thank you to the new followers. TikTok, I do appreciate it. Card buy every time. We could do that. I mean, I prefer to sell, to be honest. It's just, again, it's a psychological thing. To be honest, though, I think my actual win rate was slightly better at buying. I don't buy as often. I think I bound from my data, but the results were slightly better. So again, it's just a psychological thing. Some people will only trade buy setups, some will only trade sell setups, especially when it comes to even the cryptos and that. People just look for longs, or they'll only look for longs while things are in an uptrend, obviously Bitcoin, and start to look for sells when they're convinced it's in a downtrend and won't look for any buys. I know people have done that quite effectively. So for me, I'm happy to do either. But the minute, I don't quite have an option, so and it doesn't look like we're going to get it in the minute, so it's closing below.
I'm definitely the opposite to you. I'm a buyer. I might find myself a better buyer than a seller.
Yep, fair enough.
That's for sure.
Yep. Yeah, it's everyone has preferences, so
Yeah, it's strange that way how it kind of works out.
yeah, we see things slightly differently.
Yeah, psychology, and it's also psychology too.
Yeah. 100%. It's, I don't know, it could be a gravity thing. You see it go up, it's got to come down. Who knows? It's just,
True, very true.
it's for me, that's how I see it. I prefer to sell.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then you've got yourself who prefers to look for buys. But having said that, I prefer to look for sells. My record is slightly better for buys. So it's just a little thing. It doesn't really have that much of an impact on your trading life.
No, it doesn't. But it's all about knowing yourself and knowing your results.
Yeah, correct. Knowing your strengths and that.
Yeah, but the way you trade on the charts as well, you set up, you know what you want to see.
100%.
You trade exactly what you see.
Yep.
You trade your plan.
That's all you can really do as a trader.
Yeah, exactly.
Well,
Most people that fail, they one don't have a trade plan to start with.
Yep.
Two, they don't trade their plan, and they don't stick to the rules.
No, they don't stick to the plan all the rules because they get bored.
Yeah. And look, I've definitely fallen into that trap myself, and kind of had to try and pull myself out from over trading, from not following my rules correctly.
Yep.
So I've started to pull back. I'm only taking 1 or 2 trades a day now, so which is making me more consistent, which is great.
Nothing wrong with that.
No,
That's
definitely not. And that's
a
just
strength. It's good.
how you grow as a trader as well. So
Yep, I agree. As soon as you realize that if you just trade your plan, because you actually understand trading and what you want to see, and it works most of the time, that's when you start to see some steady results.
Yeah, I agree. Also, getting yourself involved in a group as well doesn't help.
Doesn't harm.
Getting involved
only helps.
Helps a lot.
Yeah, it does, because you can hold yourself more accountable that way as well. So
correct. Yeah, correct.
But yeah, I mean, it sounds so simple, but if you ask any consistent trader, I bet you'll say the same thing.
Yeah, I think so too. Yeah, I do think so as well. I think I've watched a heap of, and also they do a lot of back testing. They do a lot of
Yep.
training of themselves. Um,
Yeah, it's good to have like a weekly self-analysis.
Yep. Yep.
See how you went.
Weekends, they're not. You can't trade, or you can trade because you can trade crypto, but
Yeah.
most traders they'll trade in just simulations or replays. Looking for the same setups, just getting
Yep.
themselves set for the next week. Psychological. I was doing that over the weekend, doing
Yep.
a shitload of replays just to get myself back into looking for the setup. That
Same sort of patterns.
Yep. Yeah, I've got it on my chart all the time now. Up the top, be patient.
Yep.
Know exactly what I'm looking for. Just a simple break and retest. Simple as that.
Nice one. But that's, again, it's all about repetition. That
Yep, correct.
that's something we'll be doing obviously more of now that I've got myself set up.
Yep. Nice.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, and look, and it's just the little simple things and just the repetitiveness of doing it over, and eventually you get bored of it. And I think that's what happened to me the first time when I was got bored of it because
You do.
That's all I was looking for.
You do, but you also, it's like a necessity in a way.
Yep.
I suppose you got to put in that time and effort. I mean, I was lucky that, well, I saw the lockdowns as an opportunity.
Yep.
To thrash the charts.
Yep.
It was detrimental at the same time because I overtraded.
Yep.
But I definitely learned a lot. Definitely learned a lot about price action, things like that.
Yep.
It's honestly, that was the biggest stepping stone for me, was that period. Just having time to sit there and, why is this doing that? Why are we reacting here? Why are we rejecting?
Yep.
Okay, so what is probable if we reject now? What would I normally need to see? Well, what presents, what is the likely outcome? You know what I mean? So, and you just journal, things like that. So it's the way to go about it. It's tedious, it can be boring.
Yep.
But if you really want to level up, it's so important to do things like that. Journaling, I still journal pretty much every single trade. I mean, there's one or two. Every trade is either a call in the group. Even if I don't journal, I'll say, guys, I'm looking at sell here. Here's the entry, whatever. And those ones I don't tend to journal because guys get the picture. I'll send in a quick screenshot what I'm looking at.
Yeah, I've just taken off a bit off rest. I've taken a little bit more off and taken the wrist right down because I can see that it's just bouncing off that zone.
Yeah, it's a tricky level, to be honest.
Yeah, it pops through there. It'll go to the top, but it's gold is bloody tricky.
It is,
it's
man.
Not an asset I would say anyone should learn how to trade. That's for sure.
No, you definitely need to learn it though if you want to trade. Like, don't just jump straight into full margin on gold.
No, because you got to realize you do get lots of wicks. Like, you've got to give it room to breathe, reduce your risk a little bit. And I'm a swing trader by heart, so I'm not like yourself scalping for 20, 30, 40 pips.
Yeah.
I tend to go for like 100, 120, looking for the ranges, but
Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, well, that's just a style that I've accustomed to. Every time I've tried to scalp trade, I've got myself into trouble because it's like I want more out of it. You can get yourself into trouble when you're expecting the price to go even higher, when you should only be taking like 20, 30 pips, especially on gold.
Yeah, again, that's each their own. That's totally fair enough. But just quickly answers last of these questions. Sam, think gold drops this afternoon. Again, I only react to what I see. So if you remain below this resistance, I think there's a good chance we will perhaps attack the lows at some point again, the Asian session lows, but doesn't mean I'm just going to sell it because we could burst through that resistance. We are forming very strong bearish candle on the weekly, so that holds precedence, seeing it's a high time frame. Anything could still happen. Mando, no, there is no trade. So there is no level I'm looking at. It has to be above this resistance, below this support at the minute. Anything between, we're just consolidating, so there is no clear direction. Who is Jaco? When USD news release, will you be bullish or not? Who knows? Depends what the release, what comes of the release. And I would not definitely would not trade the actual news release itself. It's too risky. Very, very risky. You're gonna get slipped. Yeah, I would definitely not trade the news. But on that note, guys, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna wrap it up because there's nothing at the minute. We just keep rejecting it within this consolidation. But to my team, you guys hang around. We're gonna have a quick chat. TikTok and YouTube. So now I'm pretty sorted. I think I've got it pretty well sorted now. We'll try to fix the issue with the buffering on YouTube. I know what I have to do. I'm just going to try to find proper settings to do it. But I do appreciate the support. Thank you to those who have joined today. Thank you to the new followers as well. If you guys would like to know anything more about what we do here at A.C.T, Analyze, Confirm, Trade Forex, feel free to send us a DM. I'll happily reply. YouTube, cheers. Paul, thank you to you. Everyone else in the YouTube chat. TikTok, I will catch you guys as well next Monday from around the same time. Look forward to that. Until then, guys, do trade safe. Don't do anything stupid. Cheers. Have a good one. Bye for now, team. Stick around, mate, if you want.
Oh, okay.
Just because